r/askreddit. What's the most ridiculous reason for which you've been dumped? Shared this before here, but this has and will always take the cake for me. College GF's dad won $1 million in the state lottery over winter break. Broke up with me over the phone, telling me now that I'm rich, I can't afford to date regular people like you. That's really the only thing wrong. You're just regular. I was dating a girl in college. After a month or so I told her that I love hanging out. We were out somewhere and she looked at me funny but smiled and we carried on with the date. Not long after she suddenly has issues meeting up and I eventually hear through a friend of hers she doesn't think it'll work out. I decide not to pursue the issue even though I thought things were going great. Roll on 6 odd years later. Bump into each other. Long conversation later it turns out she thought I had said I loved her and she thought it was all too soon and panicked etc. So could have all be averted if we had a conversation about it, but never mind. Not dumped, but shut down. I asked her out and she sort of freaked. Like, on a date? A date? Oh shit. I want to say yes, but I can't. Every time I've dated a guy I liked we ended up hating each other. But I want to, but I can't. So, I know. You're my gay friend. I can't date you, because you're gay. Awesome. I have a gay friend now. Oh shit. I'm late for class. Bye. I was like what? What the fuck just happened? The other people of our social group were similarly confused. I, a 14-year-old, wouldn't take her, a 14-year-old, virginity in a Burger King bathroom. Welcome to Ireland. Good job man. First time needs to be special like a McDonald's or a Subway bathroom. I bought my GF one of the World of Warcraft expansion packs for her birthday. She started playing again like she really got into it, and I hardly saw her. She'd play all night and would come to bed as I was getting up. To be clear, that made me want to dump her. But what ended up happening was she started playing with her ex and it apparently rekindled their feelings for each other, because she dumped me after a couple of weeks of this shit and got back with him. But by that time he had moved away, so their relationship was entirely limited to playing questing or some shit. And then they broke up again after like a month of this. At the time it was horrible, but now I can't help but laugh. TL. DRX dumped me for a mage. Dumped might be extreme, but on a first date, girl asked me to go buy her popcorn literally as the movie started, so I did. Whispered as I was getting up, "You want butter on that?" Brought it back and she says, "Is there butter on this?" I said, "Yes." I asked and you said yeah and she said, "No." I specifically said, "No." I thought she was joking or something. It was like a Seinfeld bit. So I said, "Well, maybe this just isn't going to work out." And she said, "I think you're right. Thanks for nothing." And fucking left. But she took my popcorn. She should have thanked me for fucking that. Ugh. Dated a chick in my early 20s. We partied a lot at the time. One night I refused to get into her car and go for the drive home since we were obliterated. She got upset. Said fuck you this guy, I'll be fine on my own. Receive a call from her 36 hours later. She'd been bailed out of jail already. This guy, you are a fucking asshole. It's your fault I went to jail. I am breaking up with you. I hung up and giggled. Cunt. My first girlfriend told me once that I loved my dog more than her. I said that I did and she didn't talk to me for a week, which at the time felt like an eternity. We ended up getting back together for another month. She broke up with me because she found these guys at the flea market who were hitting on her. Gave them my number, and they called to fight for her. I said no. My kindergarten boyfriend dumped me for another girl I lost a foot race to on the playground. I've always been super competitive so I never forgot. I moved to a neighboring school district in elementary school and by high school became a pretty decent runner. I eventually competed against and beat this girl at a track meet. There has never been a sweeter revenge. 100% she had no clue, but it didn't matter to me. This happened when I was 21, and the girl was 22. She was Hispanic, and I'm white. We were in the phase before a relationship, so I guess we were seeing each other. Anyways, we got along great, and to this day, I still think she is just an amazing person with a heart of gold. We were out to eat one night at Applebee's, and the conversation of food came up. We discussed our favorite foods, what we didn't like, etc. She mentioned something about trying new things, specifically things like Rocky Mountain oysters, bull testicles, frog legs, etc. I'm a relatively picky eater, admittedly, so I told her I didn't think that I could try any of those things. The rest of the night went on just fine, and I didn't think anything of it. A couple nights later when I was talking to her on the phone, she said she didn't think we should see each other anymore, because she believed that I'm prejudiced against other people's cultures because I won't try any of their traditional foods. I was kind of blown away, but she had already made her mind up, so I wasn't going to stop her. I still keep in touch with her from time to time, even though she now lives 3,000 miles away. TLDR. Girl dumped me because I wouldn't eat bull testicles. I couldn't find the right pair of stockings he liked, solely for his interest in ripping them during sex. When I told him to purchase a pair he liked, he dumped me, claiming I wanted a sugar daddy and not a boyfriend. LOL. Ties with the time a girl dumped me because she thought I was spending too much time with that guy. It was my brother, who she had met. Two stories for this one. Not sure which is more ridiculous. One because I didn't want to wake up out of a dead sleep at 3 AM and walk 2 miles in the cold spring weather to go to a fucking elementary school so she could use the swing set. 2 because I said Scarlett fucking Johansson was pretty, as if I would in any life have a chance with her. Finally grew a spine and started thinking with a big brain upstairs. Got into an argument over trying to initiate sexy time. Was trying to do everything she told me to, got blown off and showed my frustration. I said, what do you want me to do? I'm trying to do everything we talked about and you keep pushing me away even more now. She said, you are an, almost at the time this was years ago, 25-year-old man. You should just know what I want and how I want and when I want it. So I replied, let me get this straight. You want me to just know exactly what you want and exactly when and how to go about it? Reply, yes. I said, babe, that's called reading your mind, and no one in the world can read minds. I came home from work, at midnight mind you, and was told, pack your shit and move out. I'm impossible to deal with. TLDR. I was told I should be able to read minds just because I was a 25-year-old man. I said that's impossible. I was dumped and thrown out. Dating this girl for 6 months. Everything is seemingly going great and spending lots of time together. We had plans to hang one Saturday night when my friend called me in tears as he was just kicked out of his house. He didn't have anywhere to go, so I invited him to come stay with me for the weekend. I called the GF and explained the situation, and that my friend may stay with me for a week or 2. I'd like to spend the night with my friend to make sure he is okay and to get him settled, and that we should get together the next night or on Monday. She was surprisingly livid. For the next 2 weeks she was very cold toward me and broke up with me shortly after. We also worked together and I left for another job a few weeks after that. I then found out that shortly after I left she was telling our co-workers that she left me because I was abusive, which couldn't be further from the truth. A disagreement about whether a milkshake was ice cream. It was winter, 2 AM. I'm driving her home. We're talking, having a good time. Things are great. She says she wants some ice cream. Where in the hell am I going to get that in this season at this time of night? So I stop in a fast food place and order a milkshake, the closest I figured they had, and she gives me a dumb look. Our conversation goes something like this. That's not ice cream, it's the closest I can get you right now. You don't want it? No. I want ice cream. That's not ice cream. Alright then, no worries. I'll take you home. I'm not even sure why you tried to get a milkshake. Do you not understand what ice cream is? It has ice cream in it. Just a little extra milk. 2. No, it's not ice cream. Why would you do that? It's no big deal. Sorry, it didn't work out. Let's change the subject. Oh my god, you always do this. Anytime you're wrong, you refuse to talk about it. The conversation escalated. She refused to drop it no matter how much I insisted it wasn't a big deal. And when I finally got to her dorm, she hopped out of the car, slammed my door, and blocked me on social media. Haven't spoken to her since. We had a similar fight about whether maroon was red earlier in the relationship, but somehow we managed to recover from that one.